Just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like, if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile.
First off, before we get into the content, RIP to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Condolences to his family. Didn't know the brother. Obviously, it was a parasocial relationship. But watching Malcolm Jamal Warner, whether it be way back from the Cosby Show or what his career matured into, you know, it's one of those dudes that you would just see, and no matter what, you just smile, right? Because not only is he extremely relatable of a person, but when you hear him talk, the intelligence, the poise, the confidence, the masculinity, it would just ooze from him. And you could just tell that, you know, he's a wise brother, even though, you know, he was in his 50s, so you expect 50-year-old brothers to be wise. But no matter what stage of life that you saw him, immensely talented, immensely intelligent, and wise beyond his years. So to watch the news yesterday messed me up. I actually took a day off. And I took that day off to contact friends as well as family. Because you just never know. You never know, when your last day on this planet is. You never know when your time is up. When the final day on your legacy that you're currently writing is its final day, the final chapter. So I took that time to give flowers to those that have helped shape my life and continue to help shape my life going into the future, because you just never know. But again, RIP to Malcolm Jamal Warner, and deep condolences to his family. I wanted to go over some new additional information in regards to what happened out in Costa Rica, because I know a lot of people are confused. So let's go in it. This is reporting from People magazine, okay? So the incident happened in Costa Rica. It's crazy. I was just in Costa Rica a few months back. I think this is back in either March or April. But yeah, was down in Costa Rica enjoying a bachelor party for one of my boys. The actor, 54, was pulled from the water by bystanders, and one person who tried to help him was taken to a local hospital and remains in critical condition. And the Judicial Investigation Agency, the OIJ, confirms to People that the other person is actually not related to Malcolm Jamal Warner. So it is implied that this was a good Samaritan that saw the situation and was doing what they could in order to try to help Malcolm. Let's get into some of the details, and we're going to have a different conversation towards the mid to end of this as well. All right. On Sunday, July 20th, the Cosby Show actor drowned while swimming during a family trip in Costa Rica. He was 54. It was later identified that another person was taken by ambulance to a local hospital and is in current critical condition from the same incident where Warner drowned. The Judicial Investigation Agency told People that the actor was apparently swept away by a current and was rescued by bystanders but declared lifeless on shore. And, you know, I'll also say this, you know, I grew up on an island, so be careful of water. Man, I know how to swim exceptionally well, and I love water sport activities. When I go out on vacation, I'm the type of guy that, like, you could just leave me on the beach in the water all day, and I'm just floating all day. But a rip current, a rip tide is serious. Olympic swimmers cannot fight the current of a rip tide. If you encounter a rip tide, you have to swim parallel to the beach to get out of that current in order to remove yourself from the current. If you fight against it, you'll get too tired and eventually too exhausted to tread water to keep yourself above. A spokesperson for the OIJ tells People that on Tuesday, July 22nd, that the second victim came in the water to help Mr. Warner. No information regarding the victim's identity has been shared. The spokesperson also confirms that the person had no personal connection to Warner, but was on the beach and decided to help. An investigation is still ongoing. So the incident occurred around 2 p.m. on Sunday. CPM was performed for 20 minutes per the agency, but he passed away at the scene. He had been on vacation with his wife and his daughter at the time of the incident, a source told NBC News. Truly tragic. And once you listen to the brother speak for long form, you begin to understand that we lost one of the good ones this day. Now, within one of his last podcast appearances, he was talking about something that was apparently weighing in on his mind in regards to leaving this planet, as well as your legacy. Little did he know that 2 months later, he would be leaving the human experience. But let's listen to a couple of his words.
When I was 15, I think, I was in the hospital with my grandfather, and I literally watched him take his last breath. And if you ever seen someone take that final breath, there's this peace that comes over them, just washes over them.
I watched my father take his last breath after suffering through aggressive cancer that took him from completely healthy to gone in about 6 months. And Malcolm is absolutely right. All of the pain that I saw that him go through, after he took that last breath, there was a calm that washed over him. And I will never forget the image of what that looks like, or better yet, the contrast of the pain that was endured prior to the final moment, but also feeling tremendously grateful that I was given the opportunity to experience this transition with the closest person to me. Let's keep listening.
I was emotional and I was sad and all of that. But even at 15, I realized that when we grieve for people who have passed on, we're grieving for ourselves because we miss them. And when I think about people in my life who have gone on and transitioned, and I think about the lives that they've led, like they were really good people, there's somewhere in my head that goes like, yeah, they really made me on to a better place. Because I look around this world and be like, oh.
Yeah.
And when we talk about why are the good people taken away from us, and I go, maybe they're being rewarded or something.
It's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
you never know.
You never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be? It's a tough question, huh?
Yeah. Especially
kids help with the legacy question, right?
Yeah. I mean, and because I'm 54, I think about that a lot.
You've done a lot.
I remember my mother said to me one time, Mr. Cosby gave you immortality.
Facts. That is very true.
Right? So I know on one lane, there's legacy there. But then because I've had this full life, after that show, there's another lane of legacy that I get to leave. And I'm still working through that.
Yeah.
Because
it's not an easy question to answer. It's just like legacy. I'm like, wait, what?
There is part of me that I will be able to leave this earth knowing, and people knowing, that I was a good person. And I talked to my dad. I talked to him yesterday. He said to me often, people love you and people are always talking about your career and your success. He said, but what really makes me the most proud is that you are a good person. And I had it from my dad. It's like,
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I'm a good person because my dad's a good person. That's a whole nother thing. It is possible to walk through this world, and with all of the darkness in the world, it is possible to maintain your soul and be a good person.
Watching him articulate this legacy question as a man is deeply impactful, knowing that at least a component of his legacy has been immortalized within the Cosby Show, and his recognition that different stages of life may have or amount to different components of his legacy, I think is very powerful, because Theo represented something that the world needed to desperately see, right? He was a smart kid that didn't apologize for being smart. He was a young man that was strong without being overtly aggressive. confident without being arrogant. I mean, a lot of the Cosby Show was about showing a different type of lifestyle, blowing through all of the stereotypes. But Theo's character, or the legacy that his character left, demonstrated boy transitioning into a man in a very different way. What could be described as a corny or weirdo behavior, he proved that you could be thoughtful, articulate, and still be respected. It was cool to want more in life, to be highly educated, but still be able to carry yourself respectfully with dignity. And it wasn't just acting, it was modeling a standard for a generation that didn't think that that was possible. And it's so crazy to think how much of the character of Theo is actually represented within Malcolm's real life, in reality character. I mean, the brother was married, kid, but lived a completely private life in Atlanta. No one even knows what his wife and his kids look like. But you can tell how content of a person that he is, which is why I'm so happy that he was asked this question about legacy, because hearing brothers like this talk about legacy can inform our decisions as men, crafting our own legacy moving forward. So my question to my G's as you forge your path within this life is that when your time comes, what will they say about you and your legacy? Will they say that you had money, right? All the material goods, that your chain was icy, that the car was flashy, right? Or will they say that you made people feel safe, that you protected people, that you were an example for people? Will they say that you was the most popular or that you got the most attention? Or will they said that you stood for something? It is my belief that your legacy will not be forged off of your peak moments, right? It's going to be built off of the quiet ones. The times when you choose discipline over discomfort. The times where you choose to step up to the plate when nobody is keeping score. When you show up for people, not necessarily to get the credit for showing up, but it's because who you are. You don't have to be well known. You don't need no status. And it's damn sure not enough money to help form a legacy that will be respected after your time is up. Your legacy is going to be determined on what your brothers say about you, your community, your family says about you. If you have kids or want kids, what your kids say about you. But I truly believe that your legacy is forged in your ability to make this place better than what you came into it as. All right, guys, wanted to share this new update as well as some of my thoughts in regards to his comments around legacy. I think I have one more video I might show towards the end here to cap off the video.
What's good? Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. What? It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And you know, life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So, find a smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
Guys, drop me your comments down below. How did the image of Malcolm Jamal Warner, whether it be through acting or, you know, his podcast later on off in life or his movies, how did they have an impact on you? Share them down in the comment box down below. And then also, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered? Let's talk about it down in the comment box. And I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube, peace.